Steve, I was at the Elizabethtown City Council meeting tonight, and I understand there was supposed to be a meeting about the restaurant tax and bonds and so forth. From what I read in the News Enterprise, went there with my video camera, and nothing happened. Well, can you tell me what's going on?
Well, Jim, that was a municipal order that was going to be read tonight and adopted, most likely by the majority of the City Council. Me voting against it, voting no. I would have voted no. But the municipal order was going to propose an agreement between the Elizabethtown Tourism Bureau and the city concerning the sports park. And it's all related to the $29 million or more in bonds that are going to be issued by the city. It's felt that this agreement is needed to assure those who would buy the bonds that not only do they have the full faith and credit of the city, but that the city council would pledge to never repeal the restaurant tax over the life of the bonds. In other words, it was going to try to bind all future city councils for the next 10, 15, 20 years to promising that they weren't going to repeal the restaurant tax. Not only that, it makes it clear, as we've long suspected, that for sure the city is going to pay for the maintenance and the operation and the insurance, all the expenses that are going to be associated with running a large sports park like that once the construction is completed. The other things that troubled me about it were that the proposal says that if by chance the restaurant tax raises more money in a year than the interest and principal payments on the bond would be that year, that then the Tourism Bureau is free to spend that money on any of its legal operation expenses. So I'm troubled as a city councilman and as a taxpayer for several reasons. One, this had not been announced before that this was going to be on the agenda. We had not discussed this agreement in any working session as we normally do. So this was, in a sense, in my mind, being slipped in at the last second. Slipped in on a Friday afternoon when it can no longer get to the News Enterprise by Sunday or even probably Monday. In other words, kept from public view until the moment that it would be read and adopted. So I feel that, you must not have felt very confident in the public's regard for this order in order to try to do it in this manner.
Steve, would that mean, if that had been passed, would that mean we would have a restaurant tax maybe forever?
I don't know if I can use the word forever, but it says that future city councils would not repeal the restaurant tax for the life of the bonds. These bonds are going to be issued in 3 series, A, B, and C. 10 million, 10 million, and then the last number is kind of ambiguous. It said 9 million depending on, and I guess that depends on the bids as they come in as to whether more or less will be needed. But let's just say this, this tax was passed supposedly for just the sports park, and now we're seeing that it may have a life beyond that and be used for things other than that. Of course, it should never have been passed in a city of this size anyhow. We are, the state only authorizes restaurant taxes for true 4th and 5th class cities, which have less than 8,000 citizens. And we are well over 25, 26, 27,000 citizens and growing, as you know, with BRAC. So not only was the tax inappropriate to pass in the first time, now the current mayor and his administration are trying to put this tax in cement in order to attract buyers to the bonds up to $29 million at least, that they hope to issue in order to finance this project.
Elizabethtown, Kentucky is a 4th class city. Really, they're a 2nd class city by population. We all know that.
Yes, sir.
So if Elizabethtown decides to become a 2nd class city, would this be binding to a 2nd class city? Because 2nd class cities are not supposed to have restaurant taxes.
There is a portion of the Kentucky law that says when you change classes that any ordinances, rules, laws that you have that are in conflict with the new class are thereby null and void. However, this has really never been tested like it would be probably or most likely here in Elizabethtown should we be classified by the action of our city council as a 2nd class city that we truly are. So my answer is it should repeal it, but it probably would have to be tested in court. And then finally, the rest of your question is this phrasing in this proposed ordinance is trying to set this ordinance or municipal order, in concrete. And I don't know how you can set any law in concrete that could never be changed, repealed, or amended.
Well, listen, that clears it up a little bit for me today, and I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know you're a busy man, and look forward to seeing you at the next meeting, whenever that is and whenever they call it.